Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden, and welcome to Shifting Perspectives. I am currently having two conversations at the same time as we pull apart the rat race and having not enough money, having to survive, living the scarcity mindset versus the abundance mindset, where exactly that line is drawn, how the rat race accumulates and propagates slave mentality and therefore scarcity, keeping you locked into that kind of a system. It's a lot. And a lot of the comments that came out of this was, I need money. I have to work my job. I don't have that luxury. Luxury. It was the word luxury that really set it off for me, where I went, oh, we need to talk. It was, I exited the system a year ago. I am officially, it was August. Yeah, it was August of 2022 that I completely exited the system. I am on this side now. Like, I am on this side. It was a meme that I read somewhere that really hit home for me. You can have poor people problems or you can have rich people problems. You're still going to have problems. Another meme I saw was, you can have living paycheck to paycheck problems or you can have finding your next client problems. You can have looking for your next job while you're unemployed problems, or you can have building my own company and trying to figure out which marketing works to attract the right clients problems. There is no easy. I should say there is no easier. It's different. The difference is, though, I chose this. That's the difference. That is it right there, really. The level of difficulty is the same. If anything, this is easier because I want to do this. The other was hard because I didn't want to do it. Choosing to live in the rat race, for me, it was harder. Having to get up every morning and getting into my car and being professional and putting on a bra and going to work and sitting in an office with a bunch of fourth perspectives while I wore clothes that made me uncomfortable because I had to follow a dress code. That was hard. Giving my time was hard. Putting my brain and my energy and my thoughts into a business and a company that just wanted to consume me was hard. There is never a day since then that I have felt consumed. We call them consumers. It's actually a misnomer. It's a really weird word because when you are in the rat race, you are what's being consumed. And 99% of the people who are still in the rat race are there because they think they have no other choice. In fact, they don't know how. They think there is nothing else. In fact, they just don't know how to exit and sustain themselves. So it's not that they can't, it's that they don't know the way. And I do. And I'm going, why am I not talking about this? I did it. I winged it. I learned. I struggled. I didn't say I struggled. I wouldn't say I struggled. It's not, I'm going to say the words, it's not for everybody, but I need to change that. I need to abridge it. It's not for anybody who values the rat race. It isn't a lifestyle that's for anybody who prioritizes the system. It's a trade. It's an exchange. It's the either of your or. The rat race makes you think there is no either or. The rat race has you thinking, that's your option. And I call that slavery. When they tell you you don't have a choice, that's slavery. Because if you're not free, then you're a slave. And if you've monopolized a mindset, you're not free. It takes a different mindset. Once you learn the mindset, you're free. Once you figure out the mindset, you're free. And life changes. Yeah, I could do nothing but talk on videos where I just go over how to escape the rat race and how to live outside of the system. But it requires authenticity. It requires your truth. You cannot do it if you are wearing someone else's mask. You cannot do it if you are trying to honor someone else's dream for you. Living outside of the system requires total and complete self-truth, self-dedication, self-honesty, because you're stepping outside of the system. And I know a lot of you don't want to be there. I didn't want to be there. And you think the risk is high. It's not. It's not. The risk is the same. The risk is not high or low. The risk is the same. It's just different. This is what my master classes teach, is cultivating the mindset required so that you can leave the rat race. This is what I do. This is what I did. Only I did it backwards. I cultivated the mindset, and that made me incapable of functioning inside the system. And I kept it quiet. I did not talk at all about that part because I did not think people wanted to. I don't think people wanted to hear it. I didn't think people wanted to hear. I thought people valued the rat race. I thought I was the only one. And after talking to several people today, I started realizing a lot of people want to escape the rat race, but they think they have no choice. And yeah, they have a choice. And it's not a worst case scenario. It's not a bad place versus where they are now. It's just a different type of stress. It's a different type of problem, except you love it here because you're authentic and you're doing it for you and you're doing it for the right reasons, which takes all of the pain out of it. So instead of being miserable, being inauthentic, living a lie, and doing a job you hate, you're just only slightly concerned about money. And that's it. But guess what? You're also concerned about money over there too. But it's concerned about money and concerned about this and concerned about having to wear a mask and pretending to be someone you're not. And so, as I said, it's a lot easier over here. But it's not a question of hard or easy. It's just a how-to. And I remember being over there. I remember going, how the fuck do I get out of here? How do I end the cycle so I can break the system so I can escape? And I've been asking that question since I was I resisted it. I was a child. I was 4 going, I don't want to get into the system. I refused to go into the system. And my father crammed me into the system. Crammed me into the system. You have resources that you have been blinded to. They don't want you to see your worth, because the minute you can see your worth, you can escape. So you don't see your worth. You think, oh, I got nothing. I'm nobody, because they taught that to you, so you'll stay. I was a domesticated slave for 40 years. Every little fucking brainwash thing you could think of that they put into my brain to keep me enslaved, they used on me. I got out because I figured out what lies they were telling me to get me out. And when I got out, I had an epiphany. I looked at all of the bullshit they gave me, all of my owners gave me, and I went, oh, fucking son of a bitch. It's the same rhetoric that the government gives you, that employers give you, that fourth perspectives give you. The same shit. But you're not conditioned to see it. You are conditioned to be blinded by it, so you won't see it. And there's subliminal messages, little things that they do. The same shit that they did in my domesticated slavery that the society is doing to keep you where you are. So when I figured out the code, I'm going to call it the slave code. I am going to call this the slave code. That's it. And I am going to teach you the slave code. Because slave code, once you can break it, you get out. This is what gives you Stockholm Syndrome. This is what gives you psychological entrapment. This is what gives you a fear of losing a community. This is what cultivates the poverty mindset. It's all linked. It's the same thing. It is the slave code. It is literally all the little things that are done and said to you that instill a slave mind into you, and it's all over the place. And there's levels. There's between two people when you have a narcissist and an empath. It's there. It's in the household when you have a father or a head of the household who dictates the house. It's there. It's in the church or the community that you're in when the community leader says that everyone has to follow a certain way and you all have to be sheep. And then they glorify your sheepness. It's there. They praise you for your following. It's when you go to the job and they congratulate you and they reward you for following the rules. It's there. It's when you go to a courthouse and the judge praises you for your obedience. It's there. And I could not escape my slaves, my slave owners, until I figured out this code. Oh, but when I did, I ran from that fucking shithole. It came on like a massive light bulb. And I could not believe it. I could not believe it. And I tried to tell my family what I had found. And they laughed at me. And then they repeated and regurgitated the very code at me. It took me a while to teach 2 of my 3 children. They resisted it. Oh my God. They thought I was crazy. And then they started to see it. And now they're going, oh my God. I had to live in New York City where the slave code doesn't exist for the most part. I had to mingle with a bunch of hippies for 2 years. I had to live backpacking on the streets of Manhattan for a year to see it. I had to exit the system, and then I could see it. And then when I went and I took my youngest daughter, and then I took my son. Now, fourth perspectives love to conjure all this up as going, oh, you're just That's conspiracy theory talk. And that's what they say to you. That's part of the code. That's gaslighting to dismiss the fact that you have figured out that there's a system and it is enslaving you. And it's all in the mindset. It's all in the words you use. And once you figure all this shit out, you see it. Suddenly I couldn't go to work. Oh my God, I couldn't go to work. I would go to work and I would just feel me stepping into the slave mind. Metropolis. So many silent films were written in the 30s, in the 20s and 30s about this topic. So many dystopian novels were written about this. They were not talking about the future. They were talking about the present. Fahrenheit 451 was not a warning that it's coming. It was trying to tell you that it's here now. Atlas Shrugged, Anthem, Brave New World, Animal Farm. They were not trying to warn you that if we don't change our ways, the system is going to end up here. They were trying to communicate to you that it is here. That's the delusion. So when you figure out slave code, you start to see it, and then you can't go near it. And then you have to exit. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't. And no one understood it. No one understood it. My partner, 10 years ago, he crossed over and he cannot work in a regular 9-to-5. He has to be an entrepreneur. But he couldn't communicate any of that to me. And I'm sitting here with the same problem now, the same mindset going, I can't go back. So you can either grow and then you're out of it, you figured it out, and you're going, okay, now how do I survive out here? Or we can start preparing you now so that when it happens, you know what to do. You know how to be an entrepreneur without the system. Oh yeah, I'm totally going to be doing this. The slave code. How to exit the rat race. You're going to have to change your mindset. You're going to have to absolutely change your mindset. Huh. Awesome. I have 20 years of psych. I can break this all down very easily for you. This is so much fun. Oh yeah, I'm going to do this. How to exit the rat race and live independently of the system and go off the grid in 12 easy steps. Yeah, I'm doing this. This is going to be awesome. All right. Yeah, this is exciting. I'm very, very excited about this. I feel good. You know, and it's funny, when I built the healing garden, I envisioned this. I wanted to do this, but I thought people won't want this. People won't like it. So I didn't. I kept this suppressed. I suppressed it in myself because I didn't think people wanted this. I thought people loved the fucking man. And I didn't realize that there were people who wanted to exit the system. I thought, well, if you want to leave the system, then why don't you leave the system? I didn't understand it because I wanted to leave the system. I resisted the system. I went, no! I went into the system screaming and kicking. And then I lived there and I could never hold a day job. And I thought I couldn't hold a day job because I was incompetent. I thought I was broken. If you can't hold a day job, it's because ethically it's icky to you, and your subconscious mind is going, no, actually, that's your identity going, you don't belong here. And your subconscious mind is saying, but it keeps you safe. So we're just going to put you back in there because it keeps you safe. And your identity is going, no, I won't go. You can't make me. And that's it. You got your subconscious mind cramming you into the system because that's where it's safe. But your identity is not okay with it. So like me, you can't hold a fucking day job because it's not truth. The problem is, and this has been my problem. This is actually what I was drawing up before I went live on this. This is my, all right, I got to figure this shit out, because what they give you with how to do business is fourth perspective marketing, consumer bullshit created by the system, by the man, for the system. But when you get out, it doesn't work. It doesn't apply. So this morning, I'm sitting here writing up, how am I going to do this? Let's break down the psych. And I got psych and philosophy, so I'm good. I've got sociology on my side. So I can piece this shit together. But you guys don't. How many of you out there has 30 years of philosophy, psychology, and sociology? And how many of you have already built 3 other companies? You don't know. So I'm going to teach you. This is what I'm going to do. How to live outside of the system 101. This is going to be so much fun. I'm excited because I'm actually going to put into words what it is I actually did. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I love when I psychoanalyze my own shit. Okay. The problem is you've been conditioned to live and function inside of a system. So you're going to have to uncondition yourself to live outside of the system. But the more you do that, the more you're going to lose ground for over there. It's a transition, and you're going to have to shift. Now, some of you may shift so quickly that you're suddenly on the other side of the system, and you've lost that, and you can't go back, and you're stuck over here, and you're going, oh, well, shit, now what do I do? There's a gap, and I know how to fill it. Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited. They teach you to build your dream from the ground up, and that's not true. You're supposed to build your business from the dream down. That's the first thing. But in order to do that, you have to know what your dream is. You have to see it. I thought people didn't want this. Okay. All right. I'm going to put this together. And I'm going to get this situated so you can leave the system. Entrepreneurs know how to leave the system. It's how we used to be before the 9 and 5. We can all blame the Model T for this one. There's foundational jobs, and that's what 9 to 5s are. That's what the system is. Those are foundational jobs. But if you're an entrepreneur at heart, if you're a visionary, if you're a cultivator, you are not going to like the foundational jobs. Foundationals are people at perspectives 1 through 4. They love that kind of shit. They love conformity. They love a lack of education in the boxes. They're foundationals. I do not work with foundationals. I will not touch those people because I don't have any of my services that are for them. The system is for them. I create offers and things for people who don't have an option outside of the system. I am the society outside of the system. That's what I'm doing. That's what the Healing Garden is. It is literally the first society outside of the system so that people who exit the system have a place to go. And I have everything from healing resources to how-to videos on how to authenticate yourself and grow yourself and nurture yourself, mindset videos. I have everything over here because it's literally life outside of the system. And everything that I do is absolutely, I am building a society. And there's no government here because you self-govern over here because you've got the fucking ethics to do it and the autonomy and you know it. That's the difference between life over there and life over here. This is Burning Man. Like, this is Burning Man. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. I actually already have this put together. I have my membership, and this is where I cultivate it. Like, this is triadic healing. I'm going to start with triadic healing, which is the process of breaking down everything that's in the system in your mind and then rebuilding it with you. You literally have been conditioned to have the system embedded into your brain, in your very fiber. And I'll be breaking it down, and then we will be rebuilding the authentic you in its place. Now, once that happens, you're not going to be able to function in the system. And that's where you are going to need your own business. And that is the way of the future. Everyone's going to become an entrepreneur, and that's okay. It's going to be awesome. But there's a right way to do it. Now, there's a thing happening right here. And I just spent this morning, like literally the last 2 days, specifically this morning, just telling everybody, I don't do fourth perspective shit. That's not aligned to me. Please leave me alone. I had so many businesses giving me the same offer. Oh, well, we can get you more leads. Oh, well, we can help you with this. Oh, we can help your coaching business grow. I don't do fourth perspective shit. And I said this to them exactly like that. I don't do fourth perspective thinking. You are not aligned to me. Not interested. And I have that literally copy, cut, pasted. So when people like message me and they are proposing this shit to me, I can just say, I don't do fourth perspective material. I do not do fourth perspective thinking. This is not aligned to what I do. I'm outside of the system. Go away. Because they're giving me the same regurgitated garbage. And that's what you're going to find when you cross over. Regurgitated garbage. I don't do regurgitated garbage. I do something different. I do authenticity based off of word of mouth. Because you have to know who you are and you have to believe in what you're doing. It's authenticity, absolutely at its finest. And it's going to take time to build your platform. About 5 years to build your platform. If you've got a really fucking good product, a year, maybe 2. But you have to have a fucking good product. If you don't have a good product, it's going to take you 5 years. It can be a shit product. But if it's a shit product, if it's a product that no one wants, if it's a really small niche, if it's something that everybody else is doing, 5 years. So it's not that it's a shit product. It's even if it's mediocre, even if it's like everybody else, even if it's absolutely replicated off of somebody else's work, it's going to take you 5 years. You will still be able to gain traction and make something of it in 5 years. If you have something that's really original and really out there and eccentric, 2 years. So keep that in mind. That's your time frame. Because when you decide to exit the system, keep in mind that you've got about 2 to 5 years, and then you're set. Now, the trick is going to be making sure you are stable on the outside and building up a foundation on the outside so that when you exit the system, you have a place to fall back to. Now, I didn't do that. I'm a hippie. I said, I don't care what I lose. I will lose everything if I have to. I trust the universe. And I grabbed my hippie bag. I have a hippie bag. I grabbed my hippie bag. I put it on my back. And I went backpacking through Manhattan with no plan. And here I am. This is where I landed. But this is where I wanted to land. And this is where I'm staying. This is like, I'm it. I'm happy. I'm good. You can do it that way, but be prepared to lose a lot. Now, you're going to lose regardless. You have to be okay with losing shit. I told you it's a mindset. You're going to have to get really comfortable with doing without. You are going to have to get really comfortable with minimalist living at first. You are going to have to get really comfortable with frugality. You are going to have to get really comfortable with losing people. But what you are going to gain is authentic belonging. Oh yeah, this is my shit. This is my jam. This is what I do. You ready to learn? All right. For more shit like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. For even more shit like this, subscribe to my amphitheater and get my daily safe self-care regimen. And that's going to be part of it, by the way, is my daily self-care regimen, because we need to start reconditioning your mind to think differently. And that's what my self-care does. And if you cannot get enough of shit like this, join my integration workshop and become a member of the Healing Garden. Take a look at the link below. You will get included my monthly 5-day masterclass, Power of Self, where I teach people this awesome shit. Thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.